Hello, everyone. Hello. And welcome to the Stephanie Stevens Show. Tonight is my game show. How smart are you? We're talking about the presidents. As you know, in an hour or two, and in some cities 4 or 5 hours away, the National Republican Convention is on tonight. So this is the final bid for the push for the White House the second time. So we will see. Now, as you know, a lot of Americans say one thing and then do another. Now, we know that change must come, and not just with the White House, with just a lot of other things. As you know, we've been facing several different issues with racism, with all kinds of the internet corruption, all kinds of really bad, concerning things going on in the world today. And I am here to help you and refresh your memories about some of the good presidents, the concerning presidents, and some things you might not have guessed about some of our presidents. Now, as I said to you before in the past, our show is an open platform for the pronoun, two-spirited LGBT community. So that means all of us in a sense. So if you have some stories that you would like to talk about or you'd like to share with everyone, I don't mind Zooming with you and we can talk about anything and everything because that's how we get things done. Now, tonight our show is about the presidents. Like I said, I'm going to enlighten you on some of the history of some of the USA presidents. I'm an American citizen and I have dual citizenship. Even though I live in Canada, I still vote. So I thought I would share my thoughts at the end on what I think and how I'm going to predict who I think will be the next president of the United States of America. So this is our game show. How smart are you? There's no prizes tonight. This is just a refresher course to see how many of you out there know the presidents of the United States. Okay? We're just going to have a little fun tonight about that. And then we're going to get to watch the National Republican Convention and see the last push for the White House. So thank you guys for joining me here on the Stephanie Stevens Show. We will be about 30 minutes. So just hang on, okay? Now, our first president. Now, apparently, he was 7 feet tall. And he's the man that freed the slaves. Apparently. Supposedly. That's what they say. But that's what the Constitution says. Okay, we'll see. Does anybody know who this president is? Anybody know who this president is? Just send up some comments, send up some love. We're just going to go through a quick little history lesson. Does anybody know who this 7 foot tall president was? Apparently, he freed the slaves in the United States of America. Apparently. Does anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this president is? Apparently, he wasn't married. We don't know if he was part of the LGBT two-spirit pronoun community, but it's suspected. Now, how many of you know who this gentleman is? Does anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this gentleman is? Send me up some love, some comments. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln. Apparently, Abraham is the president that freed the slaves. We love us some Abraham. He was 7 foot tall. A 7 foot tall president. And apparently he wasn't married. But it was suspected he was part of the LGBT two-spirit pronoun community. We're not sure. Constitution's not saying that. We'll see down the road. Now, our next president was in 19 67, it says. Now, apparently, this president was bisexual. Nobody knew that this president was bisexual. Does anybody know who this president is? I'm just giving you the tea on what I heard. Apparently, hi Steve, how are you? Apparently, this president was bisexual. I don't know. I wasn't born then. But I don't know. Does anybody know who this president is? Does anybody know who this man is? Does anybody know who this president is? Tonight we're doing a refresher course on presidents. Coming up in an hour or two, we will be watching the National Republican Convention, so we will get to see the last push for the White House. Hi Marshall, how are you? Does anybody know who this president is? Anybody know who this president is? Anybody know who this president is? Anybody know? I'll wait. There you go, Cindy. That's right. This is Lyndon B. Johnson. Apparently, he was a good president. Apparently. But concerning in a lot of ways, like most presidents are. But we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Just a refresher course on our presidents from the United States of America. Some were very good, some were very concerning, and some were not supposed to be in the White House. But we'll get to that sooner or later. Now, our next president, I didn't know who this was when she sent me this. My agent sent me this picture, and she says, ask the people, do they know who this president is? I think I know who he is, but I'm not sure. He was another bisexual. Did you guys, it's so strange. Nobody ever talks about the real sexuality of the presidents. These people are human beings. How are you, Essence? These people are human beings. And we all have lives that sometimes might venture off the track of what America or what some Christians think is normal. Now, there's nothing wrong with being bisexual. There's nothing wrong with being gay. Just be who you are. It's strange that these presidents were hiding their sexuality. Woo! But I'm going to give you the 411 on who was doing what. Hi Deja, how are you? Does anybody know who this president is? Anybody know who this man is? Does anybody know who this white man is? Does anybody know who this president is? Now, for us, having your hair all slicked back with a bow on it, we would think he was part of the LGBT two-spirit pronoun community. But it was part of the style back there in those days. You don't know? I don't know who that is. Does anybody know who this president was? Actually, I'm not going to say anything just yet. I want to give people time to figure it out. I should have left this one. There you go. That's right, Cindy. This is Adams. Woo! Adams. Woo! Now, let me just show you how, it's weird how Adams happened to get this. But Barack didn't get that. Did Clinton get that? No, buddy. Adams on a $10 bill. Did Barack get that? $10 bill. Okay. Now, our next president is the first African American, or supposedly the first African American, because some of the other presidents had a mixed race bloodline. Did you guys know that? To your history lesson, one or two of the last presidents way down the road had a mixed bloodline. I'm sure some of y'all didn't know that. But Stephanie Stevens is here to give you the 411. They didn't want y'all to know, but I'm spilling the tea. Some of them were mixed. That's right. They need to update the bills. They do. They need to update the bills for people of color and people who have made a real impact in the United States. These men here, a lot of the people don't know and they don't remember. We need to have up-to-date people for whatever decade and generation it is. It's that simple, USA. I hope you're listening there. Our next president was supposedly the first African American. Does anybody know who this man is? Does anybody know who this black man is? Apparently he's from Hawaii, but apparently his birth certificate has been in question from a lot of different organizations. We're not going to have money soon. I know. We're just going to be using our cards. I know. It's very strange. The poor entertainers, that's a bad thing for us. No money. How are you going to tip us? Ooh. Mainly when you know as queens, most of us are entertainers, we get paid a lot of extra money as tips. That's right, Cindy. This is Barack Obama. Barack Obama did something great for Americans. He tried to give them universal health care or affordable health care with the Obamacare. Of course, that came into question from the president that's in office now that's trying to take away all of the Obamacare. I don't know if it's all gone yet or not, but apparently America doesn't want Americans to have universal health care. For me, I don't understand that. I live in Canada and I'm a dual citizen. I can go to the hospital all day, every day, and I never have to worry about getting a bill. And that's the way it should be in the United States. If they claim to be the most powerful country in the world and the wealthiest and the most influential, Americans should have health care. Simple. Simple as that. Now, Barack Obama did what he could. Them old white men in that Senate and in that Republican Party was holding him down and keeping him from moving the way he should have been moving. They didn't want him to be the first one to make real change in the United States because he was African American, and I'm sure that was what it was. Them old white men that sit up there in Massachusetts drinking iced tea all day long didn't want this man to make the difference that he really could have. We should have the same as Canada. That's right. Americans should have health care. There's no reason all Americans should have health care. There's no reason they don't. Why is it that everybody in Canada, we all have health care, we can go to the hospital when we want, and things seem to function here just perfectly? The way I look at it, doctors don't need to get any richer. They do need to get paid for their services, but every person has the right to health care, a place to live, and just decency in life. And then you will see a decline in these shootings, these murders. You give people the quality of life and jobs, people will thrive and do better. But you must reach out to these concerning communities that have gun violence and all these other things. So America needs to wake up. Trump, you're just not Trump, some of the past presidents as well. There's no reason we're still discussing health care in 2020. There's no reason we are discussing health care there, Donald Trump. That should have already been done. Okay, get that out of the way. You got a lot of other things to worry about. I understand I'm not going to ramble on about what should be and what shouldn't be. Americans should have health care. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. I'm trying to wave to everybody. Okay, let's do it like that. Hi, Simon. Hi, Cindy. Now, this is Barack Obama. He did what he could. Now, him and Michelle, they're on the trail trying to help certain other candidates become the president. Now, for me, I don't know if America is ready for a woman vice president. I don't know. For me, I don't care who's in there. As long as you get what you need as an American, as a citizen, and everything is going well, you get a job, you get an education, you get health care, you get the things that make your life better, I don't care who's in there. That's Barack Obama. He did what he could. Now, our next president, I don't even know who this is. I can't even remember. I've been in Canada 31 years, and I can't remember who this man is. Does anybody know who this man is? Apparently, he was never the president. This man, I think. Yeah. Does anybody know who this is? Cindy, do you know who this is? Apparently, he was never the president, this man here. He was just sitting in the chair. Like a lot of them. She says no. Apparently he was part of the White House, but he was not an actual president. But he filled in for somebody in the presidency. Oh, I don't know. We'll come back to him in a minute, because I think we need to find out exactly who he is and what's his story. I have a little bit of a history lesson to give y'all on that one. Our next president loved black people. Of course, he had some concerningness during his reign as the president of the United States. To me, he was the best president so far. And not just because he did a lot for black people and Christians and old people and stuff like that. I just think overall, he understood what being an American was and is. He understood how to treat people, how to help people get what they need, and he tried to be hands-on. And that's what you need sometimes in these communities. A president that knows what's actually going on in your community, in your city, in your state. And this man knew, even though he was concerning a little bit. I love him. Does anybody know who this president is? Does anybody know who? That's right. I'll go back to him in a minute, Simone. Does anybody know who this is? Does anybody know who this gentleman is? Apparently, he's married to another lady that tried to be the president. Another lady. This man here was the best president in the last, I don't know, 25, 30 years, if that is, for America. This man was the best president ever. Does anybody know who this man is? He's real skinny right now, and I think he's about 80 years old, 75, 80 years old. But he was fabulous for African Americans. He was fabulous for us, and he could play that saxophone, y'all. He could play that saxophone. This was one of the best presidents in the United States. Anybody know who this is? Anybody know who this man is? He did a lot for African Americans. He did a lot. Apparently, he was messing around with some young girl. I don't believe that, but dresses with stains don't lie. He says, I did not sleep with that woman. I did not have sexual relationships with that woman. I love that. I love that. And you know what? At least he came out and owned up to it afterwards. But does anybody know who this gentleman is? You guys know, coming up in the next hour or two is the National Republican Convention, the last push for the White House. It's coming up shortly. So I'm just doing a recap on presidents for you guys, okay? Does anybody know who this is? You know who this is, Simon? Oh, yeah. Hope he got a blowjob and he got a blowjob and a kick out. Yes, ma'am. Girl, you know what? I'm going to be honest there, Essence. I don't think there's nothing wrong with the president getting a blowjob. I mean, if Hillary wasn't going to do her job, in the bedroom, he had to do something. The president's got a lot of stress. You know what I mean? You either smoke weed or you have sex to get rid of the stress. I don't know if the President Clinton smoked weed, but he was a brother and he could play that horn. Apparently, somebody left some stains underneath that eagle in the White House, or on top of that eagle. You know that big carpet they got there? Somebody left some stains on there. I don't know who did that. That's right. This is Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton. Let me tell you something. Ain't nothing wrong with a man getting what he needs. If he's not getting what he needs at home, that don't mean that he ain't no Christian. That means that he just has needs and wants. If Hillary wasn't going to do it, somebody had to do it. I would have did it, and he wouldn't have had to give me anything. But a good time. You hear me, Clinton? Next time, get yourself a black girlfriend. We don't tell. Shh. You hear that, Clinton? I won't tell Clinton. Hillary gonna be phoning my phone soon. Ooh, I can see her now. Our next president. You know, I'm gonna be honest. I used to like this president, and he was a celebrity before he was a president. I used to like him, and I still do like him. And I think that maybe sometimes he just doesn't know how to get his points across in the right way, because he's just angry and mad. And sometimes when people just used to getting their way, they don't know how to be diplomatic about diplomacy. And our next president, I think, has a problem with diplomacy and just trying to get his point across without hitting you in the head with a frying pan. Now, he has been known, to be honest, I don't think that he's a racist. I don't think that he's bad for America. I just think that he has a bad way of communicating what he's really trying to say. He's used to having what he wants his whole life. And this gentleman, you guys, I don't know what to say about he's in his last push for a second term in the White House. Does anybody know who this man is? Does anybody know who this man is? That's right. Essence, this is Donald Trump. Now, we all got opinions about this president. We all got opinions about him. But the only people that really know Trump is his family, his friends, people that hang around him. But we know that if this man can make you money, that's what Americans want. They want education and they want nice things. And this man knows how to get those things for you. He might not know about how to express it in the right way. He might have a hard time communicating with others because he just wants to say what he wants to say and do what he wants to do, and that's it, and not have a repercussion. He's not used to somebody questioning him as being the president of the United States. And you're right, he does need to stay off of social media. But I understand that that is a platform for the president because he knows young people are on social media all day long. So, but I think as an older person, and Anaya say he's racist. His wife doesn't even like him. I think his wife loves him, but I don't think she likes the way he does things. He's probably reinforcing I'm the president every day, all day long to her. And she's probably tired of hearing that because he wants her to shut up or something. But I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if it's going to be Biden and a first lady woman. I don't know if America is ready for that, Cindy. In essence, I don't know. Oh, he's not a politician. That's the others don't like him. You're right. He's a celebrity. He's a celebrity. And that's what he knows. He knows the world of celebrity. So he thought he would take that to the White House and try to use that celebrities. And it doesn't work. Those old men in that Republican, in that Senate, don't like celebrities in the first place. This is why you see very few of them have celebrities at their events or anything like that. They're only bringing celebrities in if they just feel like they're going to lose or they're desperate. That's right. He's a businessman. He's a businessman. He knows how to make America money. And he knows how to make you money. And we all know that Americans want money. They like money. They like money. They like shiny things. They like big houses. They like big cars. They could care less about who he slept with and all these blonde hussies that he's running in front of him and all these beauty queens he didn't marry and all these beauty pageants he on, because he's a celebrity. He is, but he knows how to make you money. Especially Pelosi. Oh yeah, he's real mad at Nancy Pelosi. I don't know what that scarf was she had on her neck for about 5-6 days. I don't know what that scarf was all about. I wanted to put her up on here today, but my agent told me, she said, don't do that. I want to talk about that scarf thing around her neck. But he's real mad with Nancy Pelosi. And I think sometimes Nancy Pelosi has stepped over the line. I think he has good intentions for America. He just don't know how to talk. He don't know how to communicate very well. Cindy says her 401k was looking good. Mine too, girl. I'm doing okay over here, okay? And even though I live in Canada, I still pay taxes in the U.S., so I'm doing all right. But Donald is not a communicator at all. Donald is just, this is the way it is, and that's it. You know, sometimes when your parents used to tell you no and go away, and that's it. That's Donald. Donald does that with almost everything. He just thinks, okay, this is the right way. This is going to make money. This is going to be these results, and we're going to win. That's all he wants. He just wants America to win. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with him wanting his country to win. But he must address the shootings. He must address the riots. He must address health care. He must address immigration. He must address so many of those things. Now, he doesn't know how to communicate with people to get these things done in the way they're supposed to. But I think he's learning. And I think that Joe Biden and this woman, I think Joe Biden, to be honest, for me, not saying that who I'm voting for, I think Joe Biden had his time. And I think Joe Biden is too old to now tackle the issues that are going to come up in the next election, in the next few years of America. The country is going to be facing some real challenging times, and you're going to need somebody with a really big fist, and you're going to need somebody that's strong. And maybe somebody that might not be able to communicate that well, but can protect you. So I'm just saying. And of course, well, you know what, the LGBT community, our community, what we need to do is we need to have a march on Washington. You see, everybody seems to put a march on Washington, and it makes a difference. The LGBT community hasn't made a real stance in Washington. We need to make a real stance like the Million Man March. Every gay man, bisexual, transsexual woman needs to be in front of that White House like the Million Man March. And this will bring change. And also, change comes from you keep pushing. You keep pushing. We just keep saying the same thing over and over. We want equal rights. We want this. Yes, he did. If he had run right after Obama's term was over, he might have won then. That's true. That is so true, Cindy. You're right. You're right. Now, the smart thing about all of this is us as a community, we've got to learn how to use our voices, and not just about celebration, but about determination to get everything that we want. They don't want to give us nothing because we're not making our voices heard loud enough. We need to be like the Black Lives Matters. We need to be loud and clear. But most of the time, Americans see us in celebration. They see gay people and the LGBT two-spirit pronoun community in celebration all the time. They see us dancing, they see us laughing, they see us giggling. They're not taking us serious. So what we need to do is get some bats and clubs and run up there to that White House and stand up there in front and chant like everybody else about our rights every day, all day. And that's how you get results. Keep pushing, 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 pushing. I don't know. I don't know if he'll be the next president of the United States. I think so, but I don't know. I think so. Because Americans say one thing and do another. And you know that, Cindy, in essence. They say one thing and they do another. And we know those Christians in Florida are Republican, okay? Because I'm from Orlando. And my parents were Republican, trust me. And I know how they are. So I know how Florida, them Christians in Florida think, okay? I know. So that's Donald J. Trump. He'll be on tonight for the Republican convention. The last push for the White House. You heard it right here on the Stephanie Stevens Show. I don't know. Who do you guys think going to win, Cindy Essence? Who do you think is going to be the next president? I mean, I know because probably don't want to say it right out because you don't want to be arguing with everybody. I mean, I don't mind saying I think he will win again because I just know Americans. They say one thing and they do another. So, and I think that Trump he just doesn't know how to communicate. I don't think he's a racist, and I don't think he hates the LGBT community. I just think he's got so much on his plate, he don't know what to do. So hopefully, if he gets reelected, he'll be able to figure all that stuff out. But I think so. He'll be reelected too. You're right, Cindy. I think so too. Because I just think that he's the right man for the job. Not that I got anything against Biden or that woman. I don't even know her, and I don't know anything. I need to go with somebody that I know can make money, can make a difference, and not scared to fight. We have to have people that are not scared to fight in the White House. That's it. It's simple. Okay? So, I don't know. We'll see. All right, Donald. Go get him. Our next president got a shoe thrown at him. Somebody threw a shoe at this president. Somebody threw a shoe at this man. Oh my God, I can't believe it. And it wasn't even a high heel shoe, it was a boot. Do anybody know who this little president is? He's a junior. Does anybody know who this president is? Somebody threw a shoe at this man. Some people are saying Biden has health issues. That's right. Let me tell you something, Cindy. You can look at Biden and see that he needs to be in Florida retired, like the rest of the Republicans. He needs to be down in Democrats. He needs to be down there resting his nerves. I don't think Biden is well enough to be the president. And I don't think the woman has a strong enough political background to really be the vice president. That's just, I don't know. I don't want to get too heavy into it because I don't want people writing me all kinds of crazy stuff and letting me have it. But anyway, that's right. This is Bush Jr. Somebody threw a shoe at this man. Cindy, somebody threw a shoe at this man. I don't know what happened. I don't know why they threw a shoe at him. He was kind of cute, a little nerdy thing when he was young, but he was running from that shoe. And remember, oh my God. Anyway, this little man here, did he accomplish anything? Did Bush Jr. accomplish anything? He's got his fingers up like he accomplished something. I don't know if he accomplished anything. Did he accomplish anything? I know that's right answer. I don't know. Well, that is Bush Jr. Bush Jr. Oh my God. Something else. Our next president. In 1970s, he had water problems. Apparently. Does anybody know who this president is? He owns a huge ranch. He's fabulous. He was fabulous at the beginning. Looked like he's telling someone off. Yeah, oh, you know he is. He's like, did you throw that shoe at me? Are you the one that threw that shoe at me? Did you throw that shoe at me? Now, you know he's only 5'6", so he can't fight. Our next president had a water problem. They had him in front of a whole bunch of congressmen asking him some really serious questions. Apparently, does anybody know who this president is? Apparently, he was really good at the beginning. And then, of course, they got him. Watergate. This man was part of the Watergate. Does anybody know who he is? He's looking surprised. That's right, Cindy. This is Is this Nixon? Oh yeah, this is Nixon. Oh, Nixon had water problems, y'all. Apparently, he was a very good-looking actor, though. Was that Ronald Reagan? Who was the actor? Cindy, which one was the actor? Was he an actor? Yeah, he was the actor. I can't remember. I've been in Canada 31 years. I mean, I've been back and forth at home, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, he was the actor. Was this Reagan? Yeah, this is Reagan. Reagan was the actor. Oh, he was cute when he was young, kind of butch. But he ended up getting into that. I don't know. I can't remember. My notes are all messed up. Ronald Reagan was married to a very fabulous, the first lady, Miss Nancy Reagan. That woman could dress. I liked her. She could dress. All right, y'all. Now, in closing, because tonight is the National Republican Convention coming on, we will see who does what for the last push to the White House coming in November. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on the Stephanie Stevens Show. In closing, does anybody figure out who this man was? Thank you, Essence. Nixon had Watergate troubles. Does anybody know who this man is? I can't remember. I don't remember who this president is. It's so shocking. I mean, usually I'm pretty smart. I usually know everybody, but for some reason I can't figure out who that is. Do y'all know who that is? No, this is not Scrooge from The Christmas Story. Does anybody know who this gentleman is? Somebody said it earlier. Thank you, Essence. Thank you. Nope. I don't know who this is either, girl. I can't figure it out. So, I just want to say to my fellow Americans out there tonight, I just want to say thank you, guys, for watching my show and supporting me in my journey to get the ProNow TV network going. I really appreciate it. I'm working very hard with Netflix to try to see what we can develop and put it all together so we have our own syndicated show for us. So I'm working very hard. So to my fellow Americans, I just want to say to you guys, do what you can. Do what you can. Do what you can. Choose the right person you think is best for you and what you represent. Choose what's best for you. Thank you, Cindy. Choose what's best for you. Make the decision that's best for you, your family, your friends, your church, your community. Choose the person you know is going to make a difference for you and your family and your fellow Americans. Who you think is going to do the better job, regardless of all of the issues. Choose the person you know that will stand strong. There's some hope of you getting some resolve with immigration, with jobs, with the fact of dealing with other countries, the mere fact of you having health care, education, and the fact that you have a home to live in and stuff. This is what's important to Americans. Education, jobs, security, life, the stuff that you need. Make sure you choose the right person that you think will do a great job for America. Sometimes those might not be the people that speak the best, act the best, know it all, and might not have any diplomacy or communication skills, but they're probably the best person for the job in the long run. So, with that being said, my fellow Americans and my fellow friends and my fellow people that are just watching the show, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Stephanie Stevens Show. I'm blessed to have you guys tuning in all the time. Remember, tomorrow night I will be on with Mr. Wesley Reinhardt, a young drag queen from Portland, Oregon, talking about the struggles of just trying to break into the drag business and where we go from here. Because the entertainers now are going to have a real tough time if these clubs don't open back up and they don't make any money. This social distancing thing might have put an end to a lot of the drag careers and performers in general, from dancers, singers, even some of these amazing artists that we have been watching and loving for years. A lot of these careers might be over because we can't go back to these stadiums and these big concert theaters. Very important times for us. We have a lot to think about it. Thank you, Essence. We have a lot to think about. A lot to think about. So to my fellow Americans, good night, everybody. Watch the convention, see what you think, and then we will see what happens in November. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye, Essence. Bye-bye, Cindy. And bye-bye, everybody who is watching. Thank you for watching the Stephanie Stevens Show, Pronoun TV. Good night, everybody. We will see you tomorrow night with Mr. Wesley Reinhardt.